are watching Morency Unfiltered. I am Gabriel Morency. Let's do this thing on the Fantasy Sports Network. It's the Friday night edition of the program. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on the show. We're going to talk some AFL football. We're going to talk some NFL football. We're going to talk about that super fight. The fight, the big fight, the marquee event. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. And you know what? I guess summer 2017 is going to be remembered for, the silly summer of 17, so to speak. I like this, though. It's like the old Battle of the Network TV stars, and they're bringing that back, too, here. But if Floyd and Conor wasn't enough for you this summer, Michael Phelps is going to be racing a shark on the Discovery Channel's Shark Week. And you son of a bitches stole my idea. I said this years ago. I said the only person that's going to be Michael Phelps is a shark, all right? And I said, just like, imagine, Mick, you got like the 8 lanes and stuff. You put glass in one of them and you drop a shark in there. And you put some fish on a string and you pull it. You make the shark go. So what's stupider, Mick? Michael Phelps racing a shark or Floyd Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor?
Oh, McGregor and Mayweather, absolutely. Mate, I'm with you. I heard your rant last night on Game Time Decisions. Conor McGregor is the greatest salesperson marketer in the world, mate. Good on him, but yeah, some guy, boxing expert, said there'd be 10,000 boxers in the world would have more chance of beating Mayweather than McGregor. So, hey, good on him, though, whatever, but I won't be watching, won't be paying.
Yeah, like I said, he's already the greatest champ of all time, McGregor. The guy just talked his way into a $100 million fight when he's never fought before. So what, Mick, you're not going to pay $100 on pay-per-view?
Oh, no way. I won't even go to a bar here in Edmonton, because I'll tell you what, you take your girlfriend to a bar, and everyone wants to fight or chat out your missus anyway. So if I go, I'll be on my own, or at a mate's house and I won't be paying, I'll laugh my head off. But like we said, good on him. But yeah, I'm upset at Mayweather. Totally disrespected boxing. But like you said, he's taken the money. But he's got so much money anyway. I think he's disrespecting it. So I wouldn't care who wins. I wouldn't care if McGregor knocks out Mayweather in 30 seconds. It won't happen. I hope Mayweather knocks him out in 10 seconds.
Let's jump into some AFL footy right now. And let's start off with Richmond and Sydney. The Swans, -1.5 point favorites against Richmond, Mick.
Yeah, mate, this should be a ripper of a game. Hard to pick again, but I'm going to go for the Tigers only because it's in the MCG in Melbourne, so the Tigers will have the crowd behind them. I don't really trust them. The Swans are on the up. The Swans can still make the playoffs. Every team can make the finals. Yeah, I'm taking the Tigers to win it by about 15, hopefully. But yeah, anyone's game. And like I said, anyone can make the finals. Even the Lions with 2 wins, if they won 10 of the next 12, they could make it. So it's craziness in Australia at the AFL this year, mate.
All the years you and I have been doing this, it's never been like this before. It looks like the CFL standings. Like 2 and 7 teams are still in it and stuff, like you said. It's wide open. There's a ton of upsets. There's no guarantees. And me and Mick killed it for the first 6, 7 rounds of this stuff. The last month or so, no one's killing this. You're better off just blindly taking every underdog, to be honest with you, except... it's hard to take the Lions here. Port Adelaide, the Power, -59.5 point favorites, Mick. The money line's -2,500. And I tell you what, the Power are going to be in a pretty bad mood after getting embarrassed last week by the Bombers.
Yeah, mate, they got absolutely smashed by the Bombers, which no one really saw coming. But now they're like huge favourites. I see the Power to win. Very confident to say they will beat the Lions, who've only had 2 wins. However, the Lions beat the Dockers last week. Power the Pap Smears to win. I don't think they'll cover, though, mate. That's a big turnaround. They should win by 6 or 7 goals, which is, 42 points. But no, I don't like them to cover that big spread. Take the Power to win in part of a parlay and the Lions to cover.
Yeah, I'm not... I never like laying 59.5 points. And it's -2,500 on the money line, so there's not a whole hell of a lot you can do with that one. Yeah. Like you said, Mick, I never would have thought that a Gold Coast and a Carlton game would be so important at this time of the year, but both these teams are both in it. Gold Coast and Carlton are both in it. Gold Coast are 19.5-point favorites. The money line is 264. The total is 170. Just for the record, the Richmond and Sydney total is 169.5. Port Adelaide and Brisbane is 202.5. Total is 170.5 in this game. Gold Coast minus 19.5, minus 264 on the money line against Carlton. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like the Suns to win. It's up there in the Gold Coast. Blues are good, mate. They cost us last week by beating the Giants, who were equal top. They beat them just. So the Blues are young. They're rebuilding. They're well coached by Bolton. I like the Suns. Lynch is good. Take the Suns to win, but probably not to cover. So if you really want to have a bet on the plus-minus, take the Blues to maybe cover that, because it could be an upset as well, and we've seen a lot of them.
See, that's the thing with this week's board. Like, I like Richmond. Yeah, it's no lock, but they're getting 1.5. So no money line parlay there. Port Adelaide, they're minus 2,500. Hard to put that in a parlay. And they're minus 59.5 points. And I agree with you. I like Gold Coast. I don't really want to lay 19.5 points. I think it'll be closer than that. Gold Coast are minus 264. But there's nothing really to parlay it with, because the next game we're going to talk about, the money line's only minus 148 there. But I think Gold Coast will win this game as well, Mick.
Yeah, Ablett's starring. He's only one knock away from having his shoulder busted completely, but he's a little champ. Yeah, they're doing all right. So, but it could be a close one. Could be an upset there, mate.
Really? You call him a potential upset, huh? So are you taking the points?
Oh, yeah, I'll take Blues to cover, but Suns to win.
All right, and finally, in closing, the Western Bulldogs and the Melbourne Demons. The Bulldogs, minus 7.5 points. The total's $178.5. Western's just minus 148 on the money line, Mick. Western and Melbourne.
Yeah, really interesting game. Both Melbourne teams at that Etihad Stadium. The Bulldogs haven't lost there this year. Demons had a good win over the Collywobbles last week. They were way down at halftime. Watched the game here on TV. I like the Bulldogs to win. It could be close. I like the Bulldogs to win and cover. They're the reigning premiers. They've got a couple of players back, but check this game. They're getting soft in Australia too in the media. Cloak and Boyd are out due to soreness. Why don't they just say, hey, you were dropped. You played terrible. You dropped. Now they're saying they're out because of soreness. Like, another example of the world getting soft, mate. Bulldogs to win, though, I think.
Out because of sore. I'm sore 24/7, Mick. Imagine if I didn't do a show because I was sore. I'm always sore.
And that's the thing, mate. When you play Aussie footy, you play with injuries. You're always sore. Yeah, sure, you can't play with a strained hamstring or a strained calf muscle. You can play with cracked ribs, sore shoulders, sore head. Like, you're always sore, mate. So that's a big load of BS. 2 players out for soreness.
I like Western, minus 148 on the money line.
Yeah, I like them to cover as well, mate. But it'll be a good game. Both teams are a very good chance, and both teams, I think, will make the 8. So it's really getting interesting as we're halfway through the season.
All right, so we're halfway through the AFL season. The CFL preseason is winding down, and next time we talk, Mick, next Friday, it'll be a CFL regular season. I'm fired up, ready for some CFL action. Season starts on Thursday, and of course, we're opening up our annual CFL Fantasy Football League this weekend as well.
Yeah, mate, I went to the Eskimos Stampeders game here last Sunday night. Fantastic for a pre-season game. Eskimos, some people think they're going to go well. Others are not so sure. I got my doubts on Jason Moss at the moment, the coach. I hope I'm proven wrong, but yeah, going to be a real interesting year. And I advise anyone to go in this CFL Fantasy, because it's not that hard. Like, you don't really have to be an expert. It's a bit of fun too, mate.
That's the thing. There's only 9 teams in the league, right? So, you know, it's fun. It adds some entertainment to it. We have a $100 entry. You know, we usually have like 7, 10, 8 guys, you know, in that range. But yeah, we always have a lot of fun with the CFL Fantasy. I'm looking forward to the start of the season. You know, you'll be joining us, and of course, our boy Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano. You know, no one knows the CFL like this guy, so we'll be getting weekly picks from him as well. Your Edmonton Eskimos open up in BC next Saturday. Saturday night, I'll be doing Sports Rage Premium during the football game, actually. Calgary Stampeders are your Grey Cup champions, but we're going to focus in on the CFL next week. We'll have Ian Cameron, a.k.a. Babano from SportsMemo.com, doing a CFL special with us right here on the Fantasy Sports Network. Myk Aussie. Check him out on Twitter. Myk Aussie, MykAussie.com. Myk, always a pleasure.
All right, great, mate. One mistake, though. I'm still a BC Lion, number 1. Eskimo's number 2. Always sticking with the Lions, and we're going to be good this year. We got Chris Williams, good quarterback. So watch out for the Lions to challenge the Stampeders in the West. Good talking to you, mate, and have a great weekend. And I reckon we can bounce back this week with some good tips.
Myk Aussie with us. Thanks, Myk. And listen, Myk says he's a BC Lions fan. I've known Myk for 15 years now. In the 15 years that I've known Myk, he's been a Calgary Stampeder fan, a BC Lions fan, an Ottawa Renegade fan, not Red Blacks, but Renegades, and now Edmonton. The 4 cities he's lived in. So now he's like, no. Yeah, you weren't saying you were a BC fan when Edmonton won a Grey Cup like 2 years ago. Now you're like, well, Edmonton might suck this year. No, I'm a BC fan. It's like he's doing the rounds. He's like Kevin Glenn. Myk's going to cheer for every team like Kevin Glenn's going to play for every team. Our boy McCormick, you're a Ticat fan. Ticat. I'm an Alouette fan, but I basically, the CFL, it's weird. CFL fans sort of like all teams. You only hate certain teams. Like Ticat fans really only hate the Argos. As an Alouette fan, we don't even really have a rival. Like, I don't know. I don't mind any CFL team, actually. I used to hate the Argonauts a lot, but now I don't mind them, actually. Because I've had good success betting on them. We're going to make you some money with the CFL. You can watch the CFL on TSN and on ESPN. So wherever you are, you'll be able to see the CFL this summer. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk some Miami Dolphin football.